Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. So, in January, there will be two runoff elections in Georgia, which stand to determine the majority in the U.S. Senate. The margin for majority being just that close, resting on only two seats. Whether the Democrats, the blue cult, or the red cult will have the balance of power in the Senate. Now, here comes the part that many are not going to want to hear. The best outcome for these runoffs would be that a Republican wins one race and a Democrat wins the other, maintaining the current the balance in the U.S. Senate. The second best scenario is that Republicans win both races. Yes, I know Democrat voters will rage against me for saying this. However, there is a lot to think about this when you look at multiple factors. Look at the big picture. Joe Biden won the presidency with less than a 4% margin of the election, with the highest voter turnout in U.S. history. That is no matter how you want to look at it, that is an amazingly thin margin. The Democrats lost seats in the House, but maintained an 11-seat majority. We cannot downplay or ignore the fact that millions of Americans actually believe that fraud occurred in the presidential race, or at least harbor the suspicion. Yes, you can blame Trump for this to a degree, since he has called U.S. electoral integrity into question. However, Trump is by no means entirely to blame, as Democrats have been calling the integrity and security of our elections into extreme question for over 4 years, which merely set the stage for Trump's current claims. Thus, even some Democrat voters may harbor questions about the integrity of our elections, especially those that suffered discarded votes, provisional ballots, and canceled registrations in 2016. The difference is that Democrat voters are more than willing to accept the outcome of the presidential election this time, in spite of any suspicions, while Republican voters are not so content to accept it. It is undeniable that 2020 has been a horribly stressful year in this country between the economy and the pandemic. This runoff will come very shortly after what could be the greatest mass eviction in world history, which is based entirely on finance, with no wars or widespread structural damage from natural disaster. Throw two races, two runoffs, which determine the balance of the Senate into play, when Democrats narrowly won the presidency and held a weakened but still present grasp on the House, and this has highly inflammatory potential, not just in Georgia, but across the entire country. Simply put, at this exact moment in time, if the Democrats win a Senate majority by a margin of one single seat, this stands to ignite what we absolutely do not want or need: a right-wing revolution. Do you want to know what a right-wing revolution looks like? Take a look at U.S.-backed insurgencies and coups globally for the last few decades. Look at, Chile and Pinochet as an example. That's what a right-wing revolution looks like. That will give you a small idea. Honestly, I do not want to hear anything from Biden voters on this. You are not revolution material. You are not left-wing revolution material. You're not. Biden voters are pink pussy hat wearing, latte sipping, Lexus driving, Russiagate propagating, censorship cheering, CNN and MSNBC watching, passive-aggressive whiners who will clutch their pearls and tisk while watching reports of people being shot, beaten, and raped in the streets. Then turn around to check to make sure that the civil unrest is not damaging their stock values. When they find their defense stocks have increased in value, they'll make appointments with their therapists because the images on TV cause them stress. Pop a Xanax and go back to sleep for 4 more years. That part about going back to sleep literally makes you worse than the MAGA crowd, because they never did fall asleep for the past 4 years and never tried to. Neither did progressives, actual progressives, not under 4 years of Trump or 8 years of Obama. The only ones that always try to go back to sleep are the neoliberal Clinton, Obama, Biden crowd. If you had stayed awake through the Obama years, then we would not have had Trump for the last 4 years while you were trying to find someone else to blame. Look in the mirror. You're to blame. While most Democratic centrists and many progressives think that a dual Democrat win in Georgia would be beneficial to accomplishing progressive policies, there is zero evidence of that. Zero evidence. Just pay attention to what Biden, Pelosi, and Schumer have said. Pay attention to who Biden has chosen for his cabinet. If you think any of those are good choices, you have paid no attention to anything for the last 50 years. Right at this moment in time, a dual Democrat win in Georgia would be extremely dangerous and would destabilize this country even more than it is and is going to be within weeks. It would be far better for Democrats to lose one or both seats in this runoff. For progressives to rally support for actual progressives to win seats in the 2022 midterms. Have you ever played chess? This is chess. Which means you have to pay attention to the entire board, not just one piece. You have to think numerous moves ahead, not just one. Though in many cases, the only move running through a person's head at this moment is insulting me. Go for it. Only time will tell which of us is right. Though we will not have to wait long, and that should terrify you. Please share this video, discuss these subjects. If you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it.